growing concerns at the U.S. southern border.
Thousands of migrants are arriving each day as the fate of Title 42 hangs in the balance. The Supreme Court temporarily blocked the Biden administration from ending the Trump-era immigration policy on Monday. It was slated to expire at midnight.
The policy gives the U.S. the ability to turn migrants away at the border, even if they are applying for asylum, citing COVID concerns. That's why it was implemented under the Trump administration. Well, the Biden administration has until 5 p.m. today to respond to the stay. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now from El Paso, Texas. Camilo, nobody explains this better than you. Welcome. I just want to get right into what you're seeing on the ground. I was there last week on one side of the border in El Paso. I was hearing from people from Nicaragua who were saying, we were told we have to get through right away because when Title 42 ends, we're going to have to, be part of a longer line of asylum seekers. On the other side in Juarez, it was Venezuelans saying we're waiting for Title 42 to end in order to cross. What's the situation? Is there still that degree of confusion or is it worse? Talk to us.
Hi, Lilia and Aziza. That's right. This Texas border city has really become an epicenter of the longstanding debate over how the U.S. government should process migrants, including those seeking asylum. As you can see right behind me, this area of the U.S. Mexico border is seeing hundreds of migrants arrive per day. That is severely straining the local resources here in El Paso and overwhelming the local shelter capacity. Because of that, many migrants are having to sleep on the street. Many of them are stranded there, braving the cold. The temperatures here are dropping, as you can tell by my shoddy and shaky camera work. And many of these migrants will like to go on to other destinations in the U.S., larger metropolitan areas like New York City, Chicago, Denver, the big California cities. But now, as you can see behind me in the bus station, there's this growing bottleneck of migrants because so many are arriving. There are not enough buses to transport them to these respective destinations. And the concern here, the chief concern here among local officials, Lilia and Aziza, is that this situation could get worse once Title 42 is lifted because the U.S. will then have to process additional migrants, additional nationalities who right now are being expelled to Mexico under that pandemic-era restriction.
And Camilo, clearly El Paso has an emergency on their hands. The government there is preparing for this. How is the administration preparing to help El Paso and other border communities should the Supreme Court lift the stay and allow Title 42 to expire?
Well, Aziza, the Department of Homeland Security has insisted that it is ready to end this policy, that it is surging personnel and resources here to the U.S. Mexico border, that it is cracking down on human smugglers that try to exploit these policy changes, and that it is also enlisting the help of other countries in the Western Hemisphere to reduce migration to the U.S. Mexico border, to stop migrants from coming here before they make it on U.S. soil. We also know that the administration is planning to expand prosecutions of migrants who cross the border multiple times, as well as expedited deportations of migrants who do not claim asylum or who do not establish credible fear of persecution during interviews with U.S. asylum officers. We also understand that the administration is considering a new asylum restriction, Lilia and Aziza, that would effectively say that if you cross through a third country like Mexico and did not seek asylum there, you will not be eligible to request asylum in the U.S. and can be deported to Mexico or to your home country right away. So that would be a major change, and it's a policy that the Trump administration tried to implement back in 2019 and could very well face legal challenges. That policy will likely be paired with expanded opportunities for migrants to enter the country legally if they have financial sponsors here. This is a process that the administration created for Venezuelan migrants back in October, and they want to replicate that by expanding it to additional nationalities like Haitians, Cubans, and Nicaraguans who have been coming here to the U.S.-Mexico border in record numbers.
Camilo, very quickly, before we let you go, what you're describing is not very different from MPP, from Remain in Mexico, in terms of its intention, perhaps, or deterrence from having people cross into the United States, saying you have to seek asylum elsewhere before coming here. MPP was, come here, be processed, but you have to wait for your hearing in Mexico. What's the status of MPP? Because there was big news there last year, and is that something that could still be implemented?
Yes, Lily, as you know, Remain in Mexico was one of the main tools that the Trump administration employed to deter illegal immigration to the U.S. It returned more than 70,000 migrants to Mexico and had them wait there for their U.S. asylum hearings. The Biden administration tried to terminate that policy, but because of litigation, it has not been able to do so. However, we understand that the administration right now is not planning to expand this policy because the Supreme Court said in June, Lilia, that this is an optional authority, that the U.S. has the power to require migrants to wait in Mexico, but that it does not have to do so.
Got it. Well, now they might have anybody who didn't seek asylum in Mexico somehow stopped over there at the border. Camilo, thank you so much for your thorough reporting from there.
Thank you all.